What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Garage Denali. This is Jonathan here, and if you saw one of my previous videos, you saw that I recently did a dash cam installation on my 2014 435i. Well, I'm about to show you why exactly you need to have a dash cam. And the reason why is because I actually just got into a little incident about a month ago or so, and I'm currently in the process right now of having it addressed and having the whole situation handled. But ultimately, a deer ran into me at night while driving, and I'm going to include a clip that shows you exactly how it all went down. If I just show you over here, my car has some damage. Do you see the damage? What about if I stand over here at this angle? Now, the good news is you don't really see it, and that's good. When I say you don't really see it, I mean the damage is pretty minimal for the most part. So really what happened was a Bambi actually hit me right on the left side, just kind of jumped right in front, and it just, as I was applying the brakes, I just tried to slow down, but it hit me, and it did damage to 4 areas. So first and foremost, you'll see up here in the fender, I know it's going to be a little hard, there you go, it's going to be a little hard to see, but you can kind of see right there, there's a crease in the fender right about there. So overall, not too bad. Excuse my car, it's a little dirty right now, but it left another dent right here in the door, right around there. If I try to get the angle right, you can see the reflection. But you can see it right there. If I take a step back right there about where that rubber parking block is, you can see it right there. And then over here, I have a crease in the quarter panel. You can see right there, there's a nice lip if I run my finger right there on the side panel. But besides that, I mean, I left a couple little marks up here as well in the quarter by the window. You can probably see it. It's tough to get the angle right, but it's up there for the most part. But it didn't really damage anything else. Now granted, I'm lucky in the sense that it's really just a couple dents in a few spots, and it also hit the mirror as well. So this mirror was essentially just hanging, and if you can see a little bit, it is a little loose. If I open and close the mirrors automatically by pressing the button, this one is a little slower to operate, and when I'm driving on the highway, I do know that this mirror tends to vibrate a little bit. It is shaking, so I pretty much filed a claim with my insurance. I'm at no fault for this. Obviously, it's a act of nature, act of God, if you can call it. Really, I have full coverage on the car, obviously, so that's good. But yeah, pretty much made an appointment with my nearest caliber collision, and pretty much what they're going to be doing is they're going to be repairing the car. So had an appointment with them. It's definitely fixable. It's pretty minor, as you can see here overall, and it is doable. It's not too bad. Could have been a lot worse if it was, a full-grown deer like a buck or something like that, but the fact that it was a baby deer wasn't too bad. And pretty much it just goes to show, and I'm going to show you inside the car, as you might have seen from my previous video of installing the dash cam, but I have the Thinkware. It's the U1000 dash cam. So basically, I just have this recording constantly while I'm driving. It records in parking mode while the car is parked here at home or anywhere I might go. And of course, you can see there in the rear view mirror, if I can get my camera to focus, I got a rear facing camera there as well, because it's good to have the protection. And ultimately, because I have this dash cam here in my car, that pretty much saved me in the event that if I was to go down the route of having to go to court or having to argue this case here and, provide justification for how it happened and to prove that it was actually a deer that hit me, I have the footage. I have an incident that happened to me a few years ago where I was driving my old car. I was parked at a parking lot train station, or a train station parking lot, and I got in the car and I drove away. And 20 minutes later, when I got out and I saw that I had some damage to my bumper and fender, I said, oh, well, that sucks. So I went back to the train station. I pretty much parked in the same spot. Luckily, that was still free when I came back. And I called the cops. They showed up, filed a report, got a report. Afterwards, I pretty much went into the bar right by the train station, the little restaurant there, to use the bathroom. And the guy that held the door open for me, ironically, actually, when I came out, was the guy who got in the truck that hit me, and he was just sitting there. So he pretty much got in his truck for about 2 minutes and was waiting there, doing whatever it was he was doing while I was still essentially making my way out. And when I approached him, I pretty much said to him, hey, you hit me, there's, I got scratches on my car, you scraped me, and there's blue paint on your gold truck. And he, pretty much didn't believe me what I was saying. And ultimately he got out, looked at it, completely denied that he hit me, filed a claim with his insurance. They denied me. So then essentially I took him to small claims court to essentially get, paid out for the damage that would, having the car repainted, the bumper and the fender. And because I didn't have the footage, even though the damage on my car was at the same height as his truck, anywhere from 20 to 23 inches, because the damage kind of followed like an S shape. The only thing that I really had was, some of the photographs that I took, but his insurance company basically said, the tape measure that is shown here in these photos doesn't show the tape starting at the ground. So we can't tell if this is actually legitimately, if the height of the damage on both vehicles is consistent, because they were coming up with every excuse under the sun for why, it wasn't his guy that did it. But essentially, in going to court, I won the judgment, took him, showed it to his insurance company, and I said, I'm going to get my money regardless. The thing is, if I get it from your guy, he's then gonna come after you guys for lack of good faith and not representing your insured as, you pretty much promised that you would do. So of course, this whole ordeal took 6 months from start to finish, but if I had a dash cam, this whole thing could have been avoided, because I essentially would just have to show the video evidence, and I could have been done this whole thing within a month, but that wasn't the case. So now the next steps are for me to basically take the car to the Caliber Collision that I'm going to be dropping it off at, and they're going to do the work. It's about 30 hours of work over the course of 10 business days. And when I do get the car back, I'm going to show you guys the end result. All right, guys, so we finally got the car back. And if I'm honest, if you look at the left side of the car, you can't even tell that anything happened at all. So pretty much dropped it off at Caliber, and what they did was, the dent that was right here in the fender right over there, they pretty much pulled that out. And then if you remember the dent that was here in the door, in addition to the one that was here in the quarter panel, like right around here, what they basically did was they pulled that out, and then around 6 to 8 inches or so, in diameter, if you want to think of it like that, around 6 to 8 inches, they basically repainted both of these spots, and then they blended the paint in so it pretty much matches. And once they did that, pretty much what they did was they removed both wheels, removed the bumper, front and rear bumper, removed the headlight, removed the tail light. They removed the glass and the door handle and all the shadow line trim. And basically what they did was they completely put new clear coat on the whole left side of the car. So the whole left side has essentially been re-cleared. Depending on the angle that you look at it, it almost looks like brand new paint, but that's the thing. It's the clear coat that they just put on that's doing its job, making it look really nice. And it did rain last night, so it might be a little hard to see some of the details, but truth be told, if you actually take a look at this car when it's completely dry or when the sun's beating right on it, it pretty much looks brand spanking new, and you can't tell that anything happened at all. And you might remember that the mirror was hanging when the deer hit it. So basically, it broke it at the motor. I was able to pop the mirror back on, but the mirror itself was still loose. So pretty much what they did was they got a new mirror assembly, new cap, painted that. Everything's brand new because the plastic on the old mirror was marred here, but like I said, they pretty much replaced everything. So everything is brand new. The motor, the internals, the housing, the LED turn signal, everything's brand new. But like I said, they pretty much had the car for like what, 10, 11 days, I think it was. And it was originally estimated to be done on January the 6th, but I got it back on the, what was it, the 29th of December or the 30th. So I literally got it back on that Thursday the 29th. But yeah, I took it to a Caliber Collision near my house, and they pretty much did the work. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome. I mean, I chose a shop that was near me and that had pretty good reviews. I've heard a lot of good things about Caliber, so I figured I'd try the spot near my house. And they seem to have done a pretty good job. You can't tell that anything happened whatsoever. Orange peel doesn't look bad. I mean, you can't even tell there's orange peel when you compare it to the other side, so that's good. All the damage is pretty much non-existent at this point, and the fact that it's all been re-cleared, it makes the car look like it's brand spanking new on the left side. And just to show you that, you know, everything works, there's our mirror that's folding, and we'll get it to pop back out. But yeah, I mean, you know, they took care of the interior when they were working on it. They, you know, didn't leave a mess behind or anything like that. So everything pretty much looks good, and it's exactly how I dropped the car off. But basically the moral of this video here is it's really important to have a dash cam because you never know when you might need it for an event like this. And luckily, the insurance company that I'm using, Allstate, has been pretty easy to work with. They didn't even ask for the footage. I just told them I got hit by a deer, ran into me, and they were pretty easy to work with, pretty straightforward, didn't really hold me up or haggle me in any way, so that was definitely good, especially considering that this is really something that wasn't my fault. So a dash cam is important once again because what is essentially $3,200 worth of work, you know, if you end up going to court with someone who might have hit you, for example, that could all be avoided if you have a dash cam and you can just let the footage speak for itself. But I got lucky in this case in the sense that it was with a wild animal, and when it's an act of God like that, the insurance company pretty much just takes care of you, no questions asked. So with that, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't invested in the dash cam, or if you're thinking about it, you absolutely should definitely do it. It's pretty easy to install for the most part, depending on your car, but I've done it on my friend's RAV4. It's pretty easy as well, pretty straightforward, and you can get it to integrate seamlessly and hide all the wiring so it's not in the way. And you kind of set it and forget it, and when you do need it, you'll be thankful that you have it. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Take care.